I have discovered why humans voluntarily subject themselves to psychological warfare. My dear Keth'ra, it began innocently enough. David Morales invited me to a cookout, a ritual in which they carry perfectly functional kitchen appliances outdoors and set meat on the fire for reasons of taste and atmosphere. When I inquired why they did not simply use the indoor facilities located approximately 10 steps away, David shrugged and said the food tastes different outside. I asked whether the chemical combustion process was meaningfully altered by the absence of walls and ceilings. He advised me not to overthink it. The gathering was small: David, his wife Elena, young Marcus, a few neighbors, and myself. Elena had prepared an extraordinary quantity of food, far more than we could possibly consume. I initially interpreted this as a logistical error, but David explained that it was the whole point. Humans express care through ritualistic overproduction. The greater the excess, the deeper the affection. By this metric, Elena Morales cares for her community with a ferocity that borders on aggression. The atmosphere was warm. Humans at rest in their own territory are remarkably pleasant. They laugh easily, they offer drinks, food, and seating with a casualness that masks how seriously they take the act of providing. David stood at the outdoor flame apparatus for over an hour, turning pieces of meat and refusing all assistance. I recognized this at once. On Valanthi, we call it Keth'ra, the quiet pride of the provider. Your father had it, David has it. Some things are universal. I was content, relaxed, enjoying what humans call a good time. Then Marcus asked if I wanted to play a game. I should have known better. You will remember Marcus from my previous letter, David's son, age 7, possessor of opinions. He handed me a controller with more buttons than a diplomatic console and led me into the family's entertainment room. On the screen was a hyper-realistic simulated battlefield. I assumed it was another quaint board-based strategy exercise. It was not. The controller itself presented an immediate challenge. It was designed for human hands, which are subtly but meaningfully larger than mine. My thumbs could reach perhaps 4 of the 8 primary inputs without repositioning my grip entirely. Marcus did not appear to consider this a disadvantage. I did not wish to appear to be making excuses. Keth'ra, I have monitored communications during territorial disputes. I have endured the Pale Corridor incident. None of this has prepared me for the game lobby. The voices flooded in immediately, overlapping, chaotic, merciless. Several belonged to children, though their language suggested an educational system far beyond my current understanding. Within 4 seconds of spawning, before I had taken a single step, a voice I estimated to belong to a 12-year-old declared me a brain-dead potato, whose continued existence was an active threat to the gene pool. This assessment was based solely on my initial stationary posture. I died almost immediately. The screen turned red, then offered a contemplative overhead view of my simulated corpse, an unnecessarily philosophical design choice. Marcus said, "It's okay," with the practiced tone of someone managing expectations. I respawned and attempted to contribute with purpose. I located an opposing player. I aimed, I shot, and I missed. He did not. My teammates were swift with feedback. A deep adult voice demanded, "My guy, can you put down the TV remote and play it with your controller? We're trying to win here." Another one, a child I believe, asked me what crayons taste like. A third suggested if they put my brain into a bird, it would fly backwards. They were not merely insulting me, they were composing. Marcus, age 7, muted them with the casual efficiency of a seasoned veteran. Don't listen to them, he said. They're just mad. They were mad. Over a simulation with no stakes, no territory, no resources, and no real consequences. At this juncture, I made a decision I now regret. Drawing on 2 decades of conflict resolution training, I unmuted my microphone and attempted to address the lobby directly. Gentlemen, I began, in the measured tone I have used to de-escalate 3 separate border incidents. I believe we are all experiencing a shared moment of frustration. Perhaps we might... I don't know what the voice called me. It was a compound word. I am certain of that much. The first component was anatomical. The second appeared to reference a dairy product. Marcus muted me himself this time, with the swift mercy of someone sparing a wounded animal. Don't do that again, he said quietly. I did not. The barrage continued in the virtual waiting area they call the lobby. Complete strangers connected by nothing but a shared server and mutual contempt competed in creative viciousness. One declared his entire team animals that even Noah and his ark couldn't carry. I'm still not certain what this means, but I understood at once that it was devastating. Another informed a grown man it was past 1 o'clock and he should be supporting his family instead of doing this. Later, after a death, someone asked, I bet you forget the water and burn your ramen, don't you? Then it came. One voice delivered what I still regard as a masterpiece of human rhetorical efficiency. He said, don't make me slash the tires on your mama's house. Keth'ra, a house does not have tires. I spent an embarrassing amount of time analyzing the socioeconomic implications, the maternal disrespect, the property threat. Logic wasn't relevant. The insult was designed to be felt. 3 seconds, 0 wasted effort. At some point during my ongoing humiliation, Elena appeared in the doorway. She observed the screen for perhaps 5 seconds. Crouch, Vrel, she said. I crouched. I died anyway. She patted me on the shoulder on her way back to the kitchen. I persisted. My performance was not mediocre, it was a disaster. I moved when I should have been still. I stayed frozen when action was required. I discharged my weapon into a wall twice. On one occasion, I eliminated Marcus himself, an act known as team killing, I'm told. He forgave me instantly, with a grace I did not deserve. The evening continued. Marcus kept requesting one more game, with an enthusiasm I could not refuse. My skills showed no measurable improvement. The lobby continued to offer its opinions. And then it happened. I advanced through a structure. An enemy appeared. Before thought could intervene, my body reacted. Correct trigger, weapon discharged, the target fell. Marcus screamed in triumph, "You got him, Vrel! You got him!" A surge of primal satisfaction flooded my chest. Pulse quickened. My grip tightened on the controller. For 2 perfect seconds, I understood the screaming, the insults, the endless cycle. Because every 30 deaths, you press the right button at the right time, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And then I died again, and I queued up once more. I played for 3 hours. David eventually extracted me from the room. I had missed the entire second half of the cookout. Elena had saved me a plate. I ate it cold at 9 o'clock, while Marcus explained kill-death ratio. Mine was 0.15. He assured me it would improve. His tone suggested he did not believe that. On the drive back to the embassy, David said, "It gets in your head, doesn't it?" "Yes, David. It does." Keth'ra, I am not proud of what I am about to confess. When I returned to my quarters, I located the download button on the Embassy Entertainment System. I have not yet pressed it. Yet, the longing is there. Because in those 2 seconds, when the target fell and Marcus screamed in triumph, something stirred. Something that has nothing to do with reason. A warmth in the chest, a quickening of the pulse, a feeling I had not experienced since I was a young man. You did not know me then, Keth'ra. I was faster in those years. Not remarkably so, but enough to win the district race at 16. I remember little of the race itself. What remains is the moment after my brother shouting, my lungs burning, the sudden certainty that I had done something that mattered. It did not matter, though. I placed 3rd in the regional the following month and never placed again. But the feeling, that specific chemical, entirely unreasonable surge, was genuine and rare. I had forgotten I was capable of it. Tonight, pressing a button at the precise instant against some unseen child from the American Midwest, I remembered. That is why the button calls to me. Your devoted husband, Varel. P.S. Marcus has another football game this Saturday. He plays often. I am bringing the chair. It remains blue. P.P.S. Is there a diplomatic equivalent to a kill-death ratio? Negotiations won versus negotiations lost? Mine would surely exceed 0.15. P.P.P.S. Further research confirms some human dwellings are called trailers, and they in fact do have wheels. The tire-slashing threat remains a masterpiece of layered insult. 3 seconds, 0 wasted effort. I remain in awe.